Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck and this is Erlengrat, in episode 19, Erlengrat Flour Mill to be exact, and we're going to continue to turn these fields here in August and move this forward. A couple of episodes ago we had the harvest, and again we had 3 fields that harvested simultaneously. And so now we've got 3 fields to try to turn, and of course we need to plant a couple of them to get those headed in the right direction as well. So let me get everything started up here. What we're doing right now is mowing the margins of our fields to try to get those taken care of so we can get a tedder out here and turn this grass into hay. Let me see if I've got what I need for this. So definitely in this episode, okay, and then that's close enough that we're going to need to come back here and drop our flaps off. By flaps I mean the rear mower. Get some modicum of mowing ability here on this. So let's get to the rear, unfold that, hopefully that doesn't hit our fence. Lower that and turn that on. Pull this back in this way. So this mowing is, it's essentially the same thing, except we're not leaving a giant swath behind us anymore, because now our goal is to turn all this over and make it into hay. So that requires a little bit different of a setup. Luckily these mowers can do both. And I am going to just come back and run down this way and just get this little extra. I should have just hugged the edge of the field rather than hugging the fence there, but that's fine. But we have been using our grass mainly for silage bales so far in this series. And this is the first time we're going to do anything a little bit different with that grass. But I don't know, I've been talking about it forever. We need to get cows. If making cake is our goal, cows is the longest portion of that, because we are not going to pay. I have no interest in paying for adult cows that can produce milk right away. I'd much rather save a little bit of money, buy them early, and feed them stuff we can get for free off our fields. You know, like this hay that we're trying to get right now. And so we're trying to get set up for that. But we're gonna need to have the food ready and get a lot of the equipment, which I think we'll actually be able to do in this episode. We're gonna start tedding and then windrowing and baling. We're also going to have to get a water, what do you call it? Some sort of water carrier. And there's one that can carry 8,000 liters of milk or water. That's probably what we'll get, because then we can water the cows with that, and then we can use that to transport the milk later. So anything that does 2 things in one is always going to get my interest. And let's just cut up this way and keep going down here. I'm always going to probably lean for some sort of 2-in-1 implement if we have one available, just because that seems wise to me. Just like this can mow and swath for us if we wanted silage, but this can also just mow regular for us as well if we want to make something else with the grass, which is what we're doing. So anyway, so we're gonna have to get that milk transport. We're gonna have to lease an animal transport and take 2 loads of cows to the facility. And I'm pretty sure I didn't want to do it, but I think we're going to do the small one because we don't need a ton of milk, we just need consistent milk. And that's kind of where we're at. So I think given our land situation, I don't know if it was last episode or episode 17, but we did have an episode recently where I tried to place the larger cowshed somewhere on our land, but it just won't fit anywhere that doesn't take up crop space. And this is sort of a side thing that we're trying to do. It's not the point of our land. We're not necessarily setting up a livestock cattle ranch. Maybe at some point, if we really want to go crazy with the cows, we can do something like that, where we would just take field 15 here right next to our stuff and put like 2 or 3 of those big cow sheds on it and just, you know, get several hundred cows going and make that the focus. But that doesn't seem like what we're trying to do yet with this this series. It seems, or I've been approaching this series as like our main thing is we got this flour mill and we need to keep that running. Then everything else we do is just a secondary bonus to that. I mean, I did also start this with the intent of let's buy this grass field, let's make something out of this grass field and go from there. So I suppose an argument could be made that our number one focus has always been mowing the grass and turning it into silage bales, because that has been where the majority of our profits have come from so far, but that's just not great content to me. I like making bales and I like mowing, but if that is all I did, I would get very, very bored in this game. As I have before, I did a ton of baling in FS19, and the only DLC pack I bought was that Anderson bale pack that had the squirrel bale loader that did 24, or the round barrel loader that did 24, and the bale wrapper, and the, you know, the one where you could lay it on the ground and you'd make the long silage tube, things like that. So I've probably done more baling than I've done of anything else. Let's just lift that and lift that. Probably should have shut these off. Actually, let's just shut them off because that's really loud. And we're gonna go see where else we need to mow. Actually, this is probably pretty good timing regardless, because that guy is just finishing with the lime. We've already mowed 2 strips down here. Let's just double check this side of the field. I could mow 1 more strip on the hill, but honestly that's not probably going to work anyway. I could mow this tiny little strip on our side of the road, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I mean, I guess maybe let's mow 1 more strip this way while we're here. This is where we were going to maybe put the cow place, and we'll just want to make sure that it is, whoops, so let's back up, drop the front mower here first. Start mowing there, and then we'll switch to the rear mower and turn that on here. Almost lined up. But yeah, let's get 1 more strip here, just so we can get this off, because once we have the cow pasture here, we obviously won't be able to mow that strip again, and that'll just clean that up just a little bit, but again, not much, because yeah, we don't really want to mess with this. Mowing up this hill, or tedding up here, or whatever, is going to be a giant pain. So we'll kind of get this strip here. We do need to come back and mow this section between our chickens and our bakery, but that is not necessarily what we're going to do right now, because I want to get this tedder started. And yeah, there's 2 strips here, so we'll just jump in here real quick. Yeah, and this is not level, so that's not great, but make sure to not hit our eggs there. Wouldn't actually hurt our eggs, just move them around on the pallets. Should make them harder to load. So we're gonna just give this once through there. And then we'll try to line ourselves up for this strip here. I don't mind mowing giant fields and doing all that stuff when the giant fields are level. When you get into weird stuff like this, it does become kind of an annoying chore. Just like in real life, I'm sure, but yeah, and this will wrap it up so we can do this and then drop off the mowers. Our worker finished. I saw the message that our worker is done because his tank is empty, so we'll have to check and see if he needs to get lime one more time just to finish that field, or if we're close enough, because I also want to fertilize it. And if we're, 95% of the way done with that, that will probably be enough for me. And then we want to start getting some of these other implements, because if the whole goal of getting cows is to get them when they're young and give them time to grow up, it's going to take them 12 months to grow up. So if there's any outside chance at all that we can get cows producing or growing, I guess not producing. Oh, all right, let's turn that off, fold that up, and we just need the front mower for this tiny little bit right here. If we can get cows producing today, I said producing again, didn't I? If we can get cows growing today, that is going to be a win for us. Just flat out. If the cows can start growing now, they'll start producing a month earlier, which will help us get to what we need to do a little bit earlier too. So, and delighted that I can fit under there. See, this is the turning with this mower. If you turn too much, the front mower misses it, and the back mowers don't get it because your angle has changed. So leave these tiny little patches, which drive me insane. So we get those. So I'm going to just call that good, and we're going to fold that up. And this might be a silly thing to do, but our tractor's disgusting. The mowers are even more disgusting. So we're going to give them a quick wash before we go do anything else. I know we're on a timetable, but we're going to make it work. So we're going to get that front implement clean. That is looking a lot better. Going to get our tractor clean. And gonna get the rear mower clean. Because we have done a lot of mowing, but we have never sprayed these off because we just got this sprayer a couple episodes ago. So beautiful. Alright, so let's, now that these are clean, let's find a spot for them in the shed. We might have to get them out again in a little bit, but that's fine. Drop that one there. Trying to stay away from our bread here, which this might be too tight of a corner to be doing this. Alright, let's come out here real quick, leave this tractor here, flip back to this one. Oh, it started liming up here. Did we need lime on field 15? I don't think we did. Oh, look, we did, but we haven't gotten the bales off of it yet, so I don't think it's wise to necessarily lime this. So let's take this one. Sorry for spinning the camera like that. I know that's not the best on video. But we're going to cut across this field. And I'm pretty sure in real life you wouldn't drive across your straw swaths like this because that would just pack them down into the dirt. So I should probably not do that either. Alright, we're going to play a little musical tractors here. I didn't move this one far enough away. There we go. We're going to move this one in here. I'm going to zoom in for a second just to make sure I can navigate all the trailers that we have haphazardly parked in here. But here is our fertilizer. We're going to load that up. And our other one's right here. We're going to set this worker to fertilizing down on field 14 again. And this is only 20%, but the fertilizer lasts a lot longer than the lime does because of the spreading rates. So who knows, this might just be able to get us through this field. I am going to do one strip down here just to get the edge of the field because I think the worker will have trouble turning around down on this end. And we do need a lot of fertilizer. All of our fields are going to need 2 doses of fertilizer, so eventually we'll need to put more in here, but where we're at right now, it'd be best to just start with the one, like so. Oh, I gotta turn. And we'll see if I start a guy here, is that going to cover? Yes, it is. Alright, so we're going to take this down to the shop. Number 1, we need a tedder. Number 2, we need that milk wagon and water carrier. And then if we get that far, we will also... Nope, you know what we also need? No, we don't need that yet. Yep, we're going to start with those 2 things. It's 5:07. I don't think we're going to get this done today with enough daylight. We got the mowing done, which was sort of important because, again, we were trying to get that done so we might be able to mow again in November. Usually it's 3 months between, so August, so September, October, November. I can't remember if 3 months between or on the 3rd month you can mow. I'm guessing it's between. It doesn't grow in December and January and February, so I don't think we're going to get another cut, but just wanted to get a lot of mowing done today in case we were able to get another cut. And we're going to need to sell some silage bales to get the money to buy the cow pasture, but the silage bales are going up in price towards the end of the year, so if we wait a day, we're going to make more on our silage, and we need to sell some to get all that too. So I think we're probably just going to get as far as we can, but not get all the way. Trailer is interesting. This is for logging. This is for horses. Oh yeah, and there was a telehandler in here. We're doing okay with our front loader right now. And we've got the auto loader for a lot of our pallets, so I'm probably going to pass on this. I do like this case as well, but it is more horsepower than we technically need. So let's focus on what we're actually doing here. So we're going to go down to animals. Number 1, this is the 8,000 liters of both milk and water. And is that other one liquid fertilizer or slurry? I don't know. This one's just water, but we do want one that can do milk. So this one would do both. 7,300, 8,000. Yeah, we're going to need it because we're doing cows here in a minute. So we're going to buy that. That is the first piece of equipment for cows, so it's pretty official. Then we're gonna need animal transport. This one will take 6 cows at a time. We're gonna lease it though. How much does this cost to lease? $12.75. We will save that in shipping, I think. $12.75. Just help me remember that when we get there. But we're also going to need this mixing wagon here for the shredding the straw and making the TMR. So that's 45,000. Yeah, plus 75 for the pasture, plus buying the cows and the transport. So we're not there yet. So what we need right now is tedders. This one is 16, 16.5, 8.7 meters to 9 meters. Do we really care? Pottinger is what we're using for our other stuff, but we're not going to pay. We don't want 4.4 meters, and we're not going to pay for this 17 meter one. That's ridiculous. So we're just kind of, doesn't really matter between the Vicon and the Kuhn. Don't think the 3.3 of a meter is going to matter to us, so we'll just go ahead and save a little money by that. And then let's look at our windrowers, because if we do a front one, we can actually carry it back with us now. And I was thinking about doing a front one. That one does 10. This one does 6. This will work just fine for us and picking it up and baling it at the same time. So I think both of these are mods, by the way, but they allow you to put the windrower on the front to kind of suck up that hay and then have the baler running on the back, which I think we can run on our McCormick. So we'll go ahead and grab that. As well, and we went from 112,000 down to 66,000. So, yep, it goes fast, but that's okay. And we'll leave this trailer here for now because we're going to take this stuff back. And we got a whole mishmash of colors going on here between the Kuhn red, which would match our Zetter, but does not match this. This is a crimson of our McCormick and the light green of our windrower, but it will work, and that is fine. Don't necessarily have to be aesthetically pleasing on the farm, you just have to get the job done. So I think we're just going to find a nice spot to drop off this windrower. We're going to get to tedding. We're going to see how our fertilizing is going. Actually, let's just pull off the road here. Let's just take a look. He's still got 11%, so he should be able to get done. I was thinking maybe I should windrow with the Zetter. But he's busy, so let's just drop the this here, and we're going to unfold this. So a tedder, if you haven't seen one used before, it's basically going to just flip over all the grass that we just mowed. And I'm trying to not get that straw from that straw swath right there in there. So we'll just lower it here. Yeah, but I am catching the fence a little bit, so we'll just, I don't want to mix that up. You see, just going to turn it up, and then it lands as a lighter green. And that lighter green is hay, and that's what we're looking for, because that's what we need to feed our cows. Again, eventually we'll feed them TMR, but TMR is also made from hay. So we'll need hay then as well. But if we buy the calves, who are 0 months old, they're not going to produce a significant amount of milk till they're 12 months old. So we're literally going to just be feeding them something to get them by as they're growing up. Now, 40% effective we could do with just grass, but our baler unfortunately doesn't let us do just grass bales. If we put a grass bale in there, it's going to pop out a silage bale. That's just how it works. So, and we don't really want 40% effective cows anyway. We'd rather just have them be a little more effective. So we're going to go ahead and just make hay from all this, feed them the hay to get them to 80% effective, and then eventually start making the TMR, because that requires silage and hay and straw, which we have the silage and the straw already. So yep, we'll just kind of go back around here. And we're working our way around. And it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as the bale is a majority hay over grass, it will turn into a hay bale. And all this is doing is really just drying out the grass. So, I mean, that's the only difference. It's dried grass is hay. So, you know, it's not like we're going to feed our cows something that they don't want to eat. It just might be a little wetter than they like, which is what the silage is anyway. The silage is just wet and fermented. So, again, it's all kind of the same thing, but you just have to get your mixtures correct. Let's just see how this this tedder does up here on the hill. It seems to be doing fine. Doesn't matter if we flip that grass again. And some of this will have to be done tomorrow, but this will be enough to get us started. And I think we'll maybe run this row down here and then stop behind the house, because I did want to show you guys how that windrower works in this episode as well. And if we had a couple of bales ready, then we'd be able to feed the cows immediately. Oops, caught the edge of our cabin a little bit there, but that's fine. So we're just going to stop this. Can we leave it without folding it up? We can. So we're just going to drop that there. Grab our baler. And worker is blocked by an object. What does that mean? Guys, stop fertilizing. I love your tenacity to come up here and just do the first row like you did with the... But yeah, see that 20%, it only took 15% to do that field and one strip down here. So let's go ahead and get this back up to our area. And our garage is pretty crowded, so we'll just pull this under here as well. I'm going to turn off the lights. Alright, and I guess we found our baler all the way down here. Now the issue that we're having, we can certainly make some bales today, but when we put those cows in, we need to water them right away, and we need to give them hay right away, and that's why we're not gonna... I mean, I could do all of that today. We could make 2-3 hay bales, run down to the shop, grab that water trailer, come back up here, but we also need to sell at least one load of silage bales to get the cash. And we were going to not pay the transport fee. So that's like 3 trips to the shop, because we would need to get our water trailer, we would need to get the animal transport that we're going to lease, and we'd have to run 2 trips to the there we go. A lot of equipment working here. Alright, so yeah, I mean, there's no reason to rush it and do it in the dark. So unfold that. We're going to lower this here, and this is going to put it in one strip that goes under our tractor. And then we're going to switch to the baler, turn the baler on, lower that pickup as well. So it's already switched from straw to grass. And as we get this hay strip in here, ooh, that's not quite as wide as our mower. That's kind of annoying. And so now it's turned to the lighter one, so this should be producing hay. And we don't have to stop for wrapping, but we still have to stop long enough for it to dump this out the back. And let's just take a quick look. This is hay, 4,500 liters. So yep, we're making hay. Probably should have left the part next to the field and done the part next to the fence, but that's okay. And this, we're going to come up here, lift, nope, that lifted the pickup. We're going to lift the pickup on this so that we can drive up here and try to get all that in the baler. Okay, the only part that's bad with this setup is the corners. The corners are a little bit difficult, but we're going to make it work. So we'll keep running down here, and normally you'd want to let that grass dry a little bit to turn into hay, but the game will let us bale it immediately once we've tedded it. So most of this we will let sit out until tomorrow. But we are going to get a couple of bales made just so we have them. Just so when we're ready to see, so we're going to pick that up here and turn, and then try to back up. Just wanted 2 to 3 bales done so we can feed our animals immediately. And coming back this way. This will be our 3rd bale. Let's just finish this strip, and then we'll knock this off. And I think that just about will do it for today. This job will obviously have to carry into till tomorrow, but we did get our 1 field. Actually, let's come down here because we missed some. Let me lift that up. We're going to back up. We did miss some next to the fence here. Apologize for this terrible view. Alright, there we go. We're going to get that extra bit we left by the fence, and then we're going to jump over and grab this extra bit we left by the field. We got to avoid that bale or run into it. That works too. And we're just going to grab the rest of this all the way down to the end here and get that. And we're really close. I wonder if we start getting all this grass in here, if it'll still give us a hay bale for that. 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Yep. So we'll back up. I'm going to turn off the windrower, turn off the baler, turn off the tractor. Alright, so we got 4 bales out here, which is enough to get us started. We are going to take the Zetter without this over to our tedder. Not only does Zetter and tedder rhyme, but the reds are actually going to look a lot closer for those aesthetic viewers out there. And let me just take a quick look at the timestamp. But I think we'll probably do the rest of this tedding tomorrow. And that's not, you don't want to run into your equipment like that, guys. That is not good for them. But we did get that field over there. Let's pop that back on. Yeah, this is plenty good for this episode. We did get field 14 limed and fertilized, so it should be ready to cultivate and plant here in the next month. And then we'll also be able to continue to work on all this grass and get the cows up. So appreciate you guys watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. A subscription always helps this channel grow, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good night.